Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to the online class, children. Class 9 Civics. What is democracy? Why democracy? In the previous session, you have studied about the definition of democracy and then features of democracy. And now we move on to a new topic, arguments in support of democracy. Let's see. So here we have 6 points that favors of the democracy form of government. So we are going to see one after the other now. So the first point, democracy is more accountable form of government. How democracy is more accountable form of government? So as usual, we are going to begin a story. Okay, so we will take China's famine first. Okay, so China famine occurred in the year 1958 to 1961. Okay, so in that famine, nearly 3 crore people were died. Okay, during that time, the India was not that much better in the economic condition. Yet, India did not have any record of that much of massive famine. Okay, how could this happen? So listen, children. So India was not that much better in economic condition at the point of time, but India didn't face that much of massive famine. That much of massive famine. Why? The economist suggested that it was an effect of the government policies of the two countries. Okay, so the economist suggests that it was an effect of the differences in the government policies in the two countries. Okay, so here democracy in India made the Indian government to respond for the food scarcity. So the democracy in India made the Indian government to respond to food scarcity, but the Chinese government failed to do so. That is why 3 crores of people were died, but the Indian government focused on the food they just care about the food scarcity. Okay, they also aim to get the sufficiency of food grains in India. Okay, so they respond about the food scarcity at that point of time. That is why we didn't have that much of massive famine in India. Okay, and now we are going to see that see the comparative study of China and India now. Then only we can analyze why the democracy is more accountable form of government. Okay, so in China, we already learnt about the China in the same lesson. It is a single party system, and there is no opposition party, and there was no freedom of press. But in India, we follow the multiple party system. We granted a freedom of press, and we have a strong opposition. Okay, if Chinese government too had these things like multiple party, freedom of press, and opposition party, then so many people may not have died in the famine. Okay, so this is what. So this example shows us that democracy is a best form of government than any other form of government, because it is answerable to the people. It responds the needs of the people. Sometimes even the non-democratic government can also respond to the needs of people, but it depends on the ruler who rules the country. If the rulers does not wish so, they do not implement any good thing for the people. So it depends on the ruler who rules the country. But a democracy, a democracy requires that the leaders must respond to the needs of the people. That is why the democracy is more accountable form of government. So listen here children, the democracy requires the needs of the democracy requires that the leaders, the rulers must respond the needs of the people. Okay, so that is why the democracy is a accountable form of government. Now we move on to the next one. It improves the quality of decision making. So democracy improves the quality of decision making. And now listen here, how it improves the quality of decision making children. So listen, so democracy always based on a discussion and debate. Okay. And if you take a presidential form of government or you can take a parliamentary form of government, the people will discuss a lot about the issue. If they are going to pass any law in a parliament, the people who are there, people who represent the people, they discuss a lot about the particular issue. Okay, so the democracy is always based on the discussion and consultation. Okay, and lot of heads, more and more heads to put together. Okay, so if more heads put together, the people can point out the possible mistakes in that particular issue so that they can rectify the mistakes and bring out a good quality of decision making. They bring out the good decision for the welfare of the country. So thus it improves the quality of decision making. So it is so democracy does not lead to the irresponsible decision. It always brings out a good quality of a decision. Okay, so uh, so that the democracy improves the quality of decision making. Okay, then now we move on to the next one. It provides a method to deal with differences and conflicts. Okay, so democracy provides a method to deal with the differences and conflicts. So we'll take India. So it is a vast country, with varying people, a different type of people. They belong to different region and they also follow different religion. Different language speaking people are here in India and the different groups follow different culture and tradition. So the lot of uh, divisions are there in India. Okay, it might be in a language or it might be in the forms of culture and traditional practices or different language they spoke in India. Okay, so we have a lot of diversity in India, but still we are united. How? Because the democracies keeps us together. Okay, so if we take that the different groups are there in India, right? So the different groups, they may clash between each other. Okay, so how could we resolve this conflict? If we take the people who are in power, the people who are in power, they can impose their wish on the other people who are weak in position. That means the majority are suppressing the minority. Okay, so if it has happened like this, it will not bring happiness among the people. If the majorities keep on suppressing the minority, keep on dominating the minority, it will not bring happiness among the people. If you look at a short term, it will be fine. But when it's go to the long term, it will not be a fine one. Okay, it will undermine the unity of the nation. But the democracy, it keeps us together. Okay, the different group may accommodate within India without any conflict. Okay, because even the minority people may also have certain rights and concessions. Okay, so the democracy accommodates all the diversities together in India, so it keeps us together, even though we are diversified in our different backgrounds. Okay, so it provides a method to deal with with the differences and conflicts. And also, in democracy, no one is a permanent winner and no one is a permanent loser. Okay. And the next one, it enhances the dignity of the citizens. So listen here. So democracy enhances the dignity of the citizen. So the above 3 points, that is, the democracy is more accountable and it improves the quality of decision making. It provides a method to deal with the differences and conflicts. So these three are the effects of democracy on the government, right? But the democracy is actually, it's not about what democracy does for the government. It is about what democracy does for its citizens. Okay, so it enhances the dignity of the citizens. And as we discussed in the previous sessions, that the democracy is based on the principles of political equality, and the democracy form of government, in a democracy form of government, people, the state that respect the rights of citizens. Okay, so whether they are the rich person or a poor person, or they are educated or least educated, everybody are seen in front of the law, and all are treated as a equal status in front of law. So that equality we have, and we also have political equality. So the democracy enhances the dignity of citizens irrespective of their wealth, gender, and whether they are educated or least educated. Everybody treated as the same status in the democracy. So that is why the democracy enhances the citizen dignity of citizens. Okay. Then the next one, the democracy allows us to correct its own mistakes. The democracy allows us to correct its own mistakes. And now listen, your children. So we cannot give assurance that democracy government may not make mistakes. Of course, no government can assure that. Okay. So even if it makes any mistakes, it gives a chance for us to correct our own mistakes. It provides room for us to correct the mistakes. Okay. And even just a minute. Okay, so it allows us to correct our own mistakes. How? Listen here. The either a rulers can change the decision, or else the rulers can be changed. So in this way, the democracy allows us to correct our own mistakes. So listen here, children. So how democracy allows us to correct our own mistakes? First of all, in democracy, we can't say that the democracy won't commit any mistakes. It is a perfect government. We can't say like that. Okay, of course, and no other form of government can guarantee that, can assure that mistakes may not done in their government. Okay, but the the advantages in the democracy is that it allows us to correct our own mistakes. It gives a space for correct our mistakes. In what way? Either the rulers can change the decision, or the rulers can be changed. Okay. So this is how the democracy allows us to correct our own mistakes. And last one, we are going to sum up. So from the above details, we are going to consider that the democracy is the best form of government. Why? Because it is more answerable. It is respond to the needs of the people. It brings out the quality of decision making, and it accommodate the various diversity of people together. The democracy keeps us together, even though we are diversified in the different background, and it also treat the citizens as the same status, and it allows us to correct our own mistakes. So all these things may not offer in the non-democratic form of government, or a king rule or a military rule. So the democracy form of government is considered as a best form of government. So it is considered as the best form of government. Okay. So listen here children, today we have learnt about the arguments in favor of democracy. That is, democracy is more accountable, it improves the quality of decision making, it provides the methods to deal with the differences and the conflicts. And here in democracy, no one is a permanent loser and no one is a permanent winner. And democracy keeps us together. Okay? And it accommodates different social diversity. It enhances the dignity of the citizens. All are treated equally. We have the political equality. Okay? And it also allows us to correct our own mistakes. Either the rulers can be changed or the rulers can change their decisions. Okay, that is why we consider democracy is the best form of government than any other alternative. Okay, and now take down the assignment children. In a democracy, no one is a permanent winner or loser. Why do we say that? Give 3 points. Second one, how does democracy improves the quality of decision making? Democracy is considered the best form of government. Explain. Thank you, children.